tend to assume the people at the very top of the economic ladder got there because their brains just work better than ours. From movie tropes of the eccentric tech founder to early cognitive psychology papers, we've been told a consistent story. High intelligence naturally translates to a high net worth. But the correlation between IQ and wealth doesn't remain steady as you move up the income brackets. By the time you reach the level of the ultra-wealthy, the data suggests that raw intelligence is no longer the primary driver of success. The ecosystem of extreme wealth is far more complex than a simple meritocracy. To see why intelligence isn't the main factor, we have to look at how these two variables are actually distributed across the population. Intelligence forms a standard bell curve, peaking in the middle. Global wealth, however, follows a heavy tail, flat for most, then spiking sharply at the edge. If wealth rewarded IQ, they'd overlap. Instead, a massive gap separates average intelligence from concentrated wealth. Because the geometry of these curves is so different, we can conclude that extreme wealth is driven by variables entirely separate from human cognitive capacity. Generating a high monthly salary and accumulating long-term net worth are two different economic activities. Longitudinal studies by researchers like Charles Murray and Jay Zagorski show that a high IQ has a moderate correlation with securing a high-paying job, usually falling between 0.2 and 0.4. The same data reveals that high IQ individuals possess no statistical advantage over those with average IQs when it comes to the long-term accumulation of wealth. Intelligence provides a baseline for economic stability, but it is not the primary engine for exponential capital growth. Economist Thomas Piketty demonstrated that the rate of return on existing capital, represented as R, consistently stays higher than general economic growth, or G. This principle means that owning assets like stocks or real estate allows wealth to multiply faster than the income generated by human labor or intellect. This structure creates a reality where a tiny fraction of asset owners control the vast majority of resources, regardless of their individual cognitive abilities. Sociologist Pierre Bourdieu further explained this through social capital. Gate-kept networks and elite connections provide a measurable economic value that IQ scores cannot capture. Extreme wealth is a self-replicating structural mechanism dependent on starting assets and elite access, not a reward for high intelligence. Physicist Alessandro Pluchino used a computational simulation to test how talent, success, and randomness interact over a 40-year career. The simulation compared individuals with high talent who faced bad luck against individuals with average talent who experienced consistent lucky breaks. The results showed that average individuals who encountered a series of lucky events ended up with significantly more wealth than the unluckiest geniuses every time. Economic supremacy is highly nonlinear. It is shaped more by the randomness of timing in circumstances than by raw ability. If extreme wealth is dictated by economic structures and random chance, it raises a difficult question. What can an individual actually control? While you cannot control randomness, you can use these findings to position yourself more effectively within the system. You can increase your surface area for a lucky strike. This process begins with positioning and networking. Moving to industries with high capital inflows and securing information before the wider market adjusts creates a significant advantage. Next is the use of leverage. As entrepreneur Naval Ravikant argues, you must detach your earning potential from your personal labor by utilizing capital, systems, or media. Finally, you need exposure. Taking more shots on goal through rapid experimentation increases the mathematical probability of encountering a favorable random event. Implementing these pillars allows an individual to move toward the exponential upside of the economic structure. The final variable is timing. Success often depends on navigating the momentum of business cycles and capital flows. Recognizing these moments requires pattern recognition built from long-term experience, which is distinct from raw cognitive processing power. A high IQ serves as a safety net that prevents economic failure. Reaching the peak of the wealth curve requires a different set of tools, a structural lightning rod, and the patience to wait for the storm.